He has found a hyena. There are a few of them actually. In fact, there are a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hyenas here. And Ron can't see any of them at the moment. He can see one. I'm going to bring him forward slightly and then turn him to face these chaps. Ooh, one of them's coming up to him. No, there we are. That's a nice shot of a hyena. There's one coming into frame now. Isn't that wonderful? Look at that. Oh, this is wonderful. This is just spectacular. Oh, how wonderful. Now, they are obviously not reacting in the same way as the lions are, which is very interesting indeed. But if David swings his camera to the left-hand side, we've got a hyena who's come right up to us. It looks like a male, fairly wizened male. And what's so cool about that is, or what's so interesting to me about that is that they are, you can see how habituated they are to the vehicle. They wouldn't absolutely no concern or thought about the main vehicle, but the rover they're looking at, they're interested in that. And that's probably because they've just never seen him before. And those lions took precisely 20 minutes yesterday to habituate to him. You can see they hardly reacted at all today. And these hyenas would do the same. I'd love to take him to a hyena den. The only problem with taking him to a hyena den is, you know how inquisitive those cubs are. I mean, they could quite possibly chew him to pieces in seconds. And that will bring the wrath of the Russian down on me, and goodness, no one wants that. The Russian, by the way, is the fellow responsible for Ronald, his builder, designer, architect, friend, father. Thank you, Mr. Hyena. You've given us a very nice shot there. Now, one of the reasons we're doing this, I know most of you, or a lot of you, will have seen what we call the disclaimer at the beginning of the show, where the 5 cheetah brothers are walking over that camera. And that was in the Mara, and Scott set that up. We need to make a few of those. And so, to have hyena at low angle like we've just had, well, we might use something like that for our disclaimer as well. So we have a few of them. The disclaimer is the thing where we say, this program contains... Ooh, that's not great. Maritza, you say this is the money shot of the day. Well, it might just get a bit more moneyed right now. Now, here's a youngster. Here's a youngster coming up now. And seems almost aware as to which side of Ronald is the business end, which side's got his eyes. Don't bite. If you see a jaw opening, we're going to have to move him, which will give them a bit of a fright, but that's okay. They're hyenas, they can cope. Everyone is now holding their breath, because one bite from those immensely powerful jaws could end him. David, I can't see those jaws. Can we?
Me neither. I don't think he's biting them yet.
You don't think he's biting them yet? He's sitting very still. You keep your mouth... Sorry. Please don't try and eat Ronald. It really would be much better if you didn't. There we go, that's a nice shot. And don't worry, I mean, look, Ronald we know full face there, David. If Ronald has to be sacrificed, well, so be it. He's not completely irreplaceable. I would hate for the last view of him for you to be the teeth. No. Yeah, Scotty G5, you say it's amazing to watch them just stare at it. It is. You know what this thing's going for is the rubber on the wheel. Let's hold that shot steady. That might be quite a nice disclaimer. There we go. That's what we want. Now just duck into shot if you don't mind. That's it. See, ideally we don't want them to react at all. And so this is part of the habituation process, and while it's quite amusing watching it happen like this, it's not the objective. I just wonder if hyenas are not slightly too inquisitive, slightly too ready to take chances. Colbert, you want to know what the plural of hyena is? Well, it's hyenas. You're talking a collective noun. It would be a clan of hyenas. Let's just back him off slightly. It's quite nice. Yeah, James Richard, absolutely. You're saying he's seeing his brief life flash before his eyes. Absolutely he is. Luckily for him, all of his parts are replaceable in one way or another, even if some of them are quite expensive. The expensive bits are really kind of in his bowels, so he should be okay. You know, his camera is a relatively inexpensive camera, although no real cameras are totally inexpensive. Let's back him off slightly so we get a bit of sky. We might just, let's just keep him going backwards and then stop. And then just a little shifty to the side. See, they're already getting used to him. When we originally started and when we moved him, they got a fright. Now they are not getting a fright. And the problem with a completely habituated hyena, of course, as I say, is his tendency to give a bite just to see if there's something nice to eat there. Joy, you say, would Ronald's innards hurt a hyena if they bit him? No, not if they bit him, not at all. If they swallowed him, yes, but they wouldn't. You know, we know that these hyenas come into camp all the time and, test bite lots of things. And they just don't, anything that tastes odd, they won't swallow. And I don't mean tastes odd to you and I mean to them, because, they obviously have very powerful digestive juices. The only thing in there that if they did sort of eat and swallow that might cause damage would be the batteries, but the batteries are underneath a little steel frame, and there's no ways they'd do that. We'd also, if I couldn't deter them from him by moving him with the remote control, I'd just drive up there and move him. All right, as close as these hyenas are to Ronald, I believe Noel is having an equally intimate time with some elephants.